See, first of all, we'll have to examine what output level the firm is going to produce in order to maximize its profit. Okay. Well, you know that the firm is going to sell some output Q at some market price P. Then the total revenue is given by P into Q. Okay. So it is selling this Q at market price P. So you can write this that total revenue is a function of Q, which is PQ. Fine. Well, of course, in order to produce this Q, it must have incurred some cost. So you can say this that total cost, they are the function of Q, which is, say, whatever, CQ, C, which is a function of Q. And you know this that economic profits are the difference between the revenues and the cost. Economic profits, they are the difference between the revenues and the cost. So basically this would mean that it is PQ minus this TC, which depends upon Q. Now you have to understand one thing, that this P, this is the market demand function, which in itself is dependent upon Q, into Q minus TC, which depends on Q. This P is the market demand function. It can have the form like this, which is P is equal to A minus BQ. So you can say this, that this P is a function of Q as it is written out here. Okay, so these are your economic profits, which is PQ into Q minus TC, which depends on Q. Now, what is the necessary condition for choosing the value of Q that maximizes this profit? So necessary condition is necessary and sufficient condition. Necessary condition. Okay. For maximization, your necessary condition should have been del pi by del Q is equal to 0. Well, the sufficient condition for maximization should have been del 2 pi by del Q2 is less than equal to 0. Fine. Let us see whether these conditions hold here or not. What is your profit function, which is P, which is a function of Q into Q minus TCQ. Clear? So in case if you find the first derivative, this is your del pi by del Q, which is first function as it is into derivative of second function, which is 1, plus second function as it is into derivative of first function, which is dp by del P by del Q, minus C by del Q is equal to 0. Okay, well, you can write this as del pi by del Q would be equal to 0, given that P plus Q del P by del Q should be equal to del C by del Q. But this is nothing, but this is just the marginal revenue. And this is nothing but the marginal cost. Okay, this is nothing but the marginal revenue and marginal cost. So at equilibrium, MC should be equal to MR. Okay, you know this, I'm sure, that why this is marginal revenue, because you know this, that marginal revenue is the change in the total revenue when one more output is sold in the market. Okay, so, and what is the total revenue? Total revenue is P into Q. Okay, that is first function as it is into derivative of second function, which is 1, plus second function as it is into derivative of first function, which is dp by dq. Clear? So this is your marginal revenue only. Right? Well, this first function as it is into derivative of second function is 1, because this you are differentiating Q with respect to Q. Okay, so it is this. So it's your marginal revenue should be equal to marginal cost. Fine. Well, I could have just said it like this, that your dTr, your pi, is equal to Tr minus Tc. So d pi by dq should have been equal to dTr by dq minus dTc by dq equal to 0. So that would have been dTr by dq is equal to dTc by dq. Okay. So you have your marginal revenue equals to marginal cost.